So I'm just going to be real brief here, and we're a couple minutes behind schedule, so I'll try to make those couple minutes back. Um, but yeah, as part of external collaboration with transforming Hawaii's food systems together, and some funding from the USDA, we conducted a number of social network analyses looking at our local food system, including looking at CTAHR and the University of Hawaii specifically, and then a number of studies looking more broadly at the landscape of local food production, organizations that support that, as well as government operations and businesses that operate within the local food system. So in total, we had about 1,600 individuals and organizations that participated in the effort, that represented about 4,000 social connections. And then these efforts, or these individuals, were classified into different typologies, such as their sector, their focus, and whatnot. And so, yeah, just quickly, we'll kind of report on the findings in two categories. One is when we look at just the UH data and the CTAHR data. We see a number of things statistically, not just visually. One is that, we do have a pretty high insularity level of our departments. We're not seeing really strong interdepartmental collaboration within CTAHR. And when we do where we do see strong integration, we do see that driven by a handful of individuals who are really seem to be just good connectors and builder of bridges across our departments. Unfortunately, we also see fairly poor integration of the research, extension, and teaching. This is a little bit better, especially with research and extension. We see a reasonably good communication and collaboration there. But especially extension and teaching, and research and teaching as well. It's not, nothing to write home about. We also see a very high level of congregation around specific sites, meaning that, there's a handful of nonprofits and a handful of farming organizations that everybody works with, or a lot of people work with, right? And that's coming at the expense of probably working or serving a broader audience in Hawaii. So there's certain organizations that are just easy to collaborate with, and we see that a lot of the researchers in particular tend to collaborate with them. Again, that's a little bit more relevant to the research side of CTAHR. And when we do look at extension, we see a much stronger partnership, as well as stronger spread across sectors in our extension. And you can go to the next slide, Safi. When we look at CTAHR within the broader local food system, there's a few other patterns and assessments we're able to do. But again, our research component, a large component of our research efforts at CTAHR is really insular. It's really reliant on external collaborations, and really not connected at all to our local food system. And our interpretation here is that a good chunk of CTAHR's research efforts is really an agricultural research sector, rather than research on our agricultural sector. And this a little bit, I think, is not a fault of CTAHR. I think it's a broader fault of academia that prioritizes, right, publication and the kind of large grants, the foundational fundamental science that really is, not problem oriented science. It's not solution oriented science, but it is your foundational research. And that seems to comprise a pretty good chunk of our research efforts at CTAHR. And so, with few exceptions, our researchers are not very connected to our local food production. And there's a number of statistics you can run in these social network analyses that kind of indicate, right, how important is someone in terms of collaboration and building social capital and forming these relationships. And again, with few exceptions, CTAHR research is not very high in that category.